I do not take anything. I do not take anything for granted. So I am honored to be a part of this. And to everyone, is everyone ready for tax season? I mean, tax season is a couple of weeks away, and so um, I mean, it's time to actually start rocking and rolling. So if you all can ready for tax season, just put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat. Put yes or put yes. Yeah. If you're ready for tax season, uh, just hit yes. Okay. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Garrett Cole. I'm on the Cole and Grogan County here in Atlanta, Georgia. I have been in the industry for well over 25 years. I am a seasoned veteran. I've seen a lot over the years. I've seen a lot of changes, seen a lot of good, seen a lot of bad, seen a lot of come, seen a lot go. Okay. And so what I'm going to do tonight is bring. Yeah, I have a little different teaching style. That's actually me, Raven. I'm on the Marissa. That's actually me. My audio at the office is not working, so I'm having to use my phone, kind of ghetto-fied over here. But we're gonna make it through. Um, yeah. So yeah, I've been in the industry for over 25 years. But what I'm gonna do is actually bring it to you. When I was actually thinking of how I was gonna present, when Raven asked me to come in, what I needed to talk about, and I said, well, let me put a PowerPoint together and everything. So I actually do not need a PowerPoint. PowerPoint restricts me. I do understand that some people like the visual aids along the way to actually guide them. So I want everybody in the chat, how many years have you been preparing taxes? I need to know, have you been in 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year? It doesn't matter if you have a P10 or not. How long have you actually been in the industry? And that'll give me a little better picture of who I'm actually talking to and what I actually need to speak about. Okay, we have 3 years. Sure, been secure, been in 10. Boss, Box been in 11. Angela been in 2. Very first year. Well, congratulations. My brother Rudy there. He's been in 10. Shalimar been in 14. Okay, so we got some vets in the game. Okay. Magic Tax been in 3. We have 8. Um, okay, so we have some veterans. We have a newbie. I tell the newbie, congratulations. You had to start somewhere. Shoot, we had to start somewhere as well. And so yeah, we got some vets in the game. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to talk about is on due diligence. Um, due diligence is more than a word. Okay, um, every part of that tax return, you need to be using the word due diligence. If somebody could type that in the chat for me, due diligence, due diligence, due diligence. Every training that I do, I repeat that due diligence so damn much. And the reason why is this tax industry has become tainted over the years. People have become very respectful to the ones who's been in it, or the ones who coming in it to actually run a successful operation. Then some people have actually been misguided along the way, and it's been from their teachers in the past. So just like the person that's in here for the first year, if she gets up underneath someone that she thinks is successful, they running, they're making money, they got a lot of clients, the way they tell her to do, she can hold that to be true. Okay, whether it's right or wrong. And so what you actually need to do is make sure you read, get to the IRS website. That is the best source for information. You get out of it what you put into it. Everybody done heard that one time or another. You got a grandmama, you got a praying grandmama somewhere, you got a mama that told you that growing up. So this is nothing new. You played sports or whatever it was in school. You done heard this once before, so we're not speaking to the elementary children. I just like to bring it the way that it is. so that my people can actually get it. If you follow me, you know that's how I talk, because I want us all to win. I don't want anybody to be misguided. I'm not better than anybody else, but I just like to bring the truth. I like to bring the heat, because we already have a stigma of actually doing bad business, of winging everything by the seat of our pants, and actually not putting in the work. So I commend every 24 people that's on here tonight. And Raven, like I said, I appreciate you. I've been following you for a while too, Raven. I love your work ethic. You got one hell of a work ethic. And that's just being truthful. You know, I thank you for having a platform like this, so that people can actually get in here and learn how to navigate their way through life and with this tax industry. Now, due diligence, everybody should be reading the Circular 230. Circular 230. Circ 230. This is the do's and don'ts of a tax preparer, tax professional. That is the tax Bible. So if you have not read that Circular 230, that says a lot about you. I don't care what your cousin doing down the street. I don't care what you heard down somebody over here in California, if somebody down the street in the neighborhood from you, got all these people wrapped around their building. It don't mean a hill of beans. Yeah, I'm from Alabama, I'm country. It don't mean a hill of beans if you sitting there that made $300,000. Now you got to turn over $200,000 to the IRS. It don't make any damn sense. I got a phone call earlier today, and if you all follow me, you know I don't. One thing I don't do is lie. Rudy will tell you. I got a phone call this morning from one of my mentees that I just met this past summer. She was terrified. So I told her to pull over, pull into a parking lot so that we can talk. She was on the way to the office to complete a to-do list that I had for her. And she said the IRS was at her office. So they raided her office this morning, and they actually went to her home. So that's another reason why you should be in a group and be connected to somebody like Raven, is that you need connections in this industry out here. You're not gonna do it alone. We all know how we move. We know all the shakers and bakers. We know all the hustlers. You can identify from a mile away. But I was able to talk to her, calm her down, got on my second phone and called the tax attorney up. Now, this tax attorney don't speak to nobody unless that bread in their hand. And that's starting off at $10,000. So I was able to actually connect those two so that she can guide her on what to do. She got in contact. She made an immediate phone call, got in touch with the people at the Internal Revenue Service agents at her office, told her that, hey, she is not available. They're going to communicate through her. So they gave some temporary relief there. They took all the computers. They took all the folders. They took pictures of her diploma from college, degrees. They took pictures of everything, marriage certificates, everything she had in that office. They took a picture of, and they left with boxes. So that's how I'm opening up the due diligence tonight. So she said she was trained by someone that she did feel wasn't right. And she needed to get with somebody to show her the right way because she has too much to lose. She said to me, Gary, I can't go to jail. I can't go to jail. I have children. So that's the only thing she can think about is her children. And so I'm doing this to paint this picture to let y'all know this ain't no game out here in the tax streets. Like I said, I've been around over 25. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of people trapped and get away with it and get nothing, no fines or nothing. I've seen people who do what they thought they were supposed to be doing right to run a business, sit here and get tens of thousands, even $100,000 in fines. So I'm gonna open it up. I have a friend that I trained over 12, 15 years ago, told him to do right. He got with somebody else. This man, he got 6 years, and this man owed the IRS over $600,000. He's gonna die with that debt. He can't put nothing in his name. So when it comes down to due diligence, it's pretty much doing what you're actually supposed to do. You verifying the documents. We have an obligation as a P10 holder to say yes or no. Whatever documents that they're providing, we are to validate those. You need to know what documents you actually need to collect. First, before you collect anything, you need to have the knowledge. Educate yourself. Like I said, Raven got a hell of a group over here. You need to get your head in the books and study. So when they provide these documents to you, you have to verify these documents are true, accurate, and they're not false. In due diligence, it's more than what you think it is. I have my hand on some audits from some EROs, for 7 different EROs. I got my hand on these a couple of weeks ago. And it was very alarming that what I looked at it like, damn, I don't even ask this question. Damn, I don't even ask this question. Damn, they got dinged on that. I don't answer this question. Those fees range from 27 up to 200-something thousand dollars that they were dinged on. Some of them were patterns. Some of them was like, I know everybody's not asking these questions, and there's some straight up honest people who I ain't trapping that are not asking these questions. But this person here faced the fine and failed the test. The IRS can come into your office unannounced. They can sit down in your waiting room. Mr. John and Miss Sally, whoever wanted is waiting on you, the business owner. You get back there, you all smiling, and here come the badge. Honestly, what are you gonna do? And like I said, I'm not gaining anything by lying. I speak the truth. So how are you gonna feel, man, the folks at your desk pulling out an IRS badge? Your stomach just gonna quiver. Also, did you know that these folks can come to your house unannounced? If your P10 is registered at your home address, which is like 90% of the people out here, I had to think, well, mine was registered. Oh, yes, mine's at the office. These folks just can pull up at your front door. So imagine that. But collecting the documents is most part of due diligence, making sure that it's verifiable along the way. And we are responsible for certain forms to be filled out accurately and correctly. The most abuse credits are earned income tax credit, we already know. Child tax credit, we already know. Other dependent credit, head of household, that's another story. AOTC, American Opportunity Credit, we already know. If you've been around for a minute, you already know. What do I already know mean? I do hair. I cut grass. I made $12,000. I made $17,000. They're coming in with the perfect numbers. And you sitting there punching that stuff in. I want you to think about it. This your P10 or your EFIN that's on the line. So is it worth it? So you need a due diligence checklist. And Raven got a hell of a file over there. Raven actually has an audit over there. The people information blocked out. But she has went to the extreme, not extreme. She has went, I can't even think of the name, Raven. But anyway, she has it in the files over there for you all to look at. Get in that file section, study that stuff, and don't think this stuff is a joke. Do not think this stuff is a joke. You have to ask questions. You have to verify things. You have to ask these things verifiable and accurate. We have to enter notes accordingly. And I do mean accordingly. I don't care if it's your cousin that you've been doing all your damn life, or you really can do some time, or you really can face this fine because of your cousin. I want you to think about this. So I want everybody to walk away tonight with a whole different mindset. Like I said, I'm not getting a penny from this. I ain't charged Raven 1 penny. She asked me how much I charge. I'm not gonna charge. Because it's my mission, as I always say, to educate us along the way. Because that is fundamental education. Now, we do have the earned income tax credit due diligence. With the earned income tax credit due diligence, we have to verify that the children are blood relationship, got residency tests, support tests, residency tests. We have all these tests that you have to actually meet. And this is part of our due diligence. It doesn't matter what y'all was taught back in the past, newborn baby, I'll go ahead and claim it, that ain't flying. Is that child in that home? It doesn't matter if the man is taking care of that house, his girlfriend and her children back there, those are not his kids. You don't put down that those are his stepchildren, they are not married. You need legal documentation in place. Don't put yourself out there in them streets like that. Please don't put yourself in them streets like that. Verify, it's gonna take longer to do a tax return this year. You're not gonna do no 15-minute tax return. Come on now, unless you're trapped. That's that person single, and that's it. One W-2, you put your notes in, you out. But it's gonna take 45 minutes to an hour to actually do a tax return from A to Z, from interviewing. You gotta talk to these folks first. So I mean, you tell me you interviewed this person, entered all their documents, the kids supporting documents, asked all these questions, put everything in there from A to Z in 15 minutes, ain't no way possible. Now you need to come back and think about your workflow of what you can do to slow things down or get enough staff in there to make sure that you are properly documenting everything that's given. You have to get their signature before the tax return is actually filed. You can't do a submission, then go back and sign it. You're in violation. Just a second. And so 8867, everybody except the new lady, she may or not know, should know about the 8867. That thing had to be filled out truthfully. If it's not in that folder or in your file, don't you check it, just trying to satisfy the need. This stuff is being transmitted to the IRS. They see what's on there. You can go back and change it all you want, but it's not gonna matter when they come pulling their records up, you check it there, why is it unchecked? The IRS agents be in your office, 2-3 days sometimes, 8 hours a day. Now, if you want to sit there with 8 hours a day with the folks, that's up to you. But you need to have knowledge, and you need to keep your records more than 3 years. I say 7. I've seen instances where 5 or 6 years, something pop up, you need those records. So don't think you 3 and out, whether you electronically or you have filing cabinets. I just read some papers from 2012. I'm like, damn, 2012, 13, and 14, and 15 over the past month that I found in the storage unit. That I didn't back up, that that I still had possession of these records. Like I said, you can sit there and argue all you want, but you got to argue with these people along the way. You're to complete 8867 plate based on your knowledge and the truthfulness. Like I say, do not, you can't e-file, I'm thinking you're working for Raven. You do not e-file unless you collect these signatures. Do not do it. Compute these credits accordingly. Let me tell you something. Everybody do not deserve a refund. Everybody is not entitled to a refund. Hell, if you owe, you just owe. You ain't have no taxes taken out. You should be glad that you owe, because you can go back to making 12 or 15,000, get an $8,000 refund, or make 60 or 70,000, but like, ooh, I owe these people. So until you as tax professionals help change our people mindset, you can be put in these positions of now you're trying to falsify credits and do everything else and trying to make them qualify for credits. Don't put yourself out there in the streets like that. Compute the appropriate worksheets accordingly. A mistake is a mistake, but you ain't made 75 mistakes on all your earned income tax credit. The IRS actually can. I looked at somebody's folder this weekend, Raven, and they bought the files. We were doing file audits. I gave it back to her in less than 2 seconds. I opened that file up with 2 pages. I gave it back to her. She said, "What's going on, Ms. Cole?" I said, "You got self-employment on there and you maxed out the EITC. The person only made $4,000. You put $12,000 self-employment on there, and that's okay. So that's what's going to lead to the investigation." Now, I don't work for the IRS. I'm not a trained assessor. But this is what things that they're looking for. You maxed out all the, you mean tell me you got 300, 400 people that's maxed out EITC? The IRS has a system called DIF that actually is picking up the abnormalities on a tax return. It's not humans, it's a computer. So don't do yourself like that. You gotta have knowledge. So you must know the reason to know the information that user claim credits for head of household. All right, head of household. Who all have on their client intake form by a 1 in the chat? If you have head of household on your client intake form, I want y'all to put 1 down there. And we actually need to be truthful. I mean, shit, you got it on there, you have it on there. Put 1 in the chat if you have head of household on your client intake form. Okay, somebody said I did last year. I would actually take it off. You choose that, they don't choose that. Take it off. You make that determination. Because if they have public assistance, which you should ask, if the income is not high enough, they make $12,000 with 3 kids. We know our community shit. I see people take up 5 or 6 kids out of 12,000. They had outside assistance. I had a baby daddy or had somebody on the side that was breaking bread with. But according to the IRS, we're talking about taxes now. So we're taking our feelings and emotions out of it. So you need to ask, how did you support these children out of this $12,000 income? Are you on any type of public assistance? Are you receiving housing allowance? How much is your housing allowance? With my rent is $1,200, I receive $1,000 a month. Okay, that's $12,000 a year. The same amount that you're making is the same amount that the housing assistance is for. So you are not head of household. So I don't know, but if they be mad at me talking about single, hey, I'm ahead, you single. I'm not gonna risk myself over no $200 or $300, even if it's that much. I'm not gonna, G Code is not gonna do it. Your ass gonna be single in my book. I ain't got time for it. They looking for the head of households. One of them artists, everybody that head of household. Just because they have a child, not head of household. I'm single and I know I'm head of my house, but not for the income tax purposes. So you make that decision. These are the ongoing questions that are probing questions that we have to answer with due diligence. So consider yourself auditors instead of tax preparers. With the children, same thing, due diligence. Where's the father? I know good and well I don't ask you where the father's at. Are you receiving any outside support for the children? Are the children receiving Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid? Is the baby daddy paying child support? All of these questions are part of our due diligence. This is nothing I'm making up. These are things that I saw in the audits. And it's actually nothing new. It's just something that we haven't been implementing. Now the IRS is doing so. You must make reasonable inquiries. You got to ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. Interview your client. Make and keep records. Especially people self-employed, they should come with records. You giving them that Schedule C or marking their Schedule C to fill out is not good enough. You ask questions about every entry on there. You're not gonna make $12,000 and have $65,000 in miles. That don't make any sense. You're not gonna make $13,000 and have $1,000 in expenses. That's not gonna fly. You need to make those reasonable inquiries with your tax profession, with your tax preparer, with taxpayer. I'm sorry. Keep this 8867. Like I said, I don't teach about a PowerPoint card like the freelance. But like I said, these are the most abused credits. This is nothing Gary came up with. You can go to the IRS website and pull this stuff up. As you see, this is the most common errors. The child has to meet that requirement. Incorrectly reported income expenses. Stay away from that. There's consequences behind it. Consequences for the taxpayer, consequences for the tax preparer. They can be banned up to 2 years for claiming children. They can be banned up to 2 years for disregarding EIC, 10 years for error because of fraud. Don't put yourself on that. The IRS hasn't been able to collect money in 2 years. So guess who's at the top of their list? Yeah, bingo, you said it right. The ones that's sitting down preparing these tax returns are the ones that they coming after because they know we got the bank. And so we can shoot them with a $30,000, $40,000 fine, and that's good. You need to ask all of these questions on your client intake form, or in the process, train your team on that. You got affiliates, you got partners. You need to stop what you're doing and go ahead and say, look, we got some shit to take care of. Okay. So make sure you ask these questions. Ask. We don't have time to be playing with these folks. Custodial parent. They should, matter of fact, don't you sit there and be the one that justifies that you interpreting the law. Don't interpret the law. Well, I know he pay all the bills in the house, he take care of that kid, or he provide all the support, so he deserves it. No. Don't do yourself like that. Don't do it. He pay child support. She ain't never but old two-bit hoe, and he be able to claim this child. He do everything for her. She have men. That's not any of your business. Your business is being a tax professional. And I speak like this because this is what happens in our community out there. I like to relate and bring it home. There's penalties for recklessness and disregard. You can get up to $545 per infraction credit. You can get up to $2,180 for the folder. Now, if anybody got a calculator, I want you to take out, multiply 545 times, 2180 times 50, because that's how many folders they're allowed to pull, and see what they come up with. That's $100,000. Same thing with the students. You don't sit there and just put in the supplies and all that. No, that don't have that form, well, shawty, they ain't gonna be in it. Shawty, you got you ain't spent $3,000 on the computer and all that. Like I said, they look for patterns. And I seen that on these forms this weekend too, Raven. Education credit in it, but no 1098T present. Make sure you all are doing your due diligence. You know how to do these tax returns. You know your book. Every software has EIC. EIC for income, EIC for child tax credit, ODC. All these credits are out there. Schedule C. Most software, when you go to Schedule C, it's a due diligence on that. When you get ready to go out, when you get ready to print it, it's like I say, it's a lot of questions that you need to ask. How many clients do you have? How often do you service your client? Do you travel? How far do you travel? How often do you replenish supplies? Do you have a business license when you was incorporated? I have this on my client intake form. Matter of fact, you need to get with Shug because I ain't promoting no software, I'm promoting anybody, but I have Jot form, and I know that on Jot form, you got conditions, meaning if you check yes or no, that's when things populate, so they don't sit there and see like they have 45 pages to fill out when in actuality they do. Did you know as a part of due diligence that you can't sit here and tell a tax preparer what to put on the tax return? Oh, just do this and do that. You're aiding and abetting. Somebody got 7 months behind that. She was the business owner. Her name was nowhere on that tax return. Something happened with the client. The client, of course, threw him up on. They slung him up under the bus because that's what they're gonna do. Led back to the taxpayer. The taxpayer, well, she told me to do this right here, and her name wasn't nowhere on it, and she got 7 years. 7 months. I'm sorry, I lied. 7 months. Be careful with your self-employed people. Ask questions. Don't you sit there and reconstruct. I know that things that we can't reconstruct, my name ain't gonna be nowhere on it. You finna go to the house, and you finna get your stuff together, and then you come back. That one person ain't worth my freedom. That one person ain't worth you getting in my pocket. Because they ain't gonna give a damn about Gary or you. So you have to ask these questions. Like house cleaning. How much do you charge to clean the house? How many houses did you clean? Who provided cleaning supplies? If you provided cleaning supply, how much did you spend? If they are a true business owner or whatever, they will not get mad at you asking these questions when you tell them why. We want to make sure that you're covered on your end, things in it truthfully, because these folks out here tripping, they ain't auditing folks. We want to make sure things are lined up for you. Now, I just go somewhere, bye. Go. So communicate clearly with your clients, educate your client, establish facts, act with fairness and integrity. Document. Do not submit a tax return not being signed. As a tax preparer, you have to explain that tax return to the client. Don't just tell them how much they get, they're going about it. You absolutely have to disclose the fees and all of that. A willful attempt to disregard the rules and regulations as described in Circular 230. Get over there in 230. Yeah, we have a lot to do. We've been working all year. You cannot guarantee a refund. Death you can, but you can't guarantee a refund. Your clients can face penalties. You want to avoid those penalties. Verify documents received. The Lord knows you can get some fake documents, especially with us being digital now. You want to make sure that you see CYA. I think it's refindo that Raven can take good to have you hold your idea, take a picture on a fake product. So you might want to implement that. You got to be competent. Tax return positions. You cannot sign a return or refund a claim. Like I said, all of these stuff is over there in Circular 230. You have penalties. $21.80 per return or claim. That's a lot of bread. I don't care who it is. I heard somebody say I just pay the fine and keep going. Do you know they could turn into a criminal investigation? So you think they just got this due diligence audit, but that due diligence audit can actually lead to something else. You can have other civil return preparer penalties, suspension, expulsion, injunction. Like I say, even jail time. The IRS have due diligence videos. They corny. These things have been around a decade. Go to YouTube and type in IRS due diligence videos. That tax preparers toolkit can be your best bet. It looks like this to navigate yourself through. Preparers toolkit. That's gonna be the best place for you. This due diligence, like I said, people, is no joke. It is. I hear people out here saying what they can do this tax season, what they plan on doing, charging people half their refund. Man, you can't do that, miss. Man, you're gonna get yourself into trouble. I'm just trying to put one thing up, Miss Raven. From my training from this weekend. Let me see. Yeah, so just trying to pull this up. See, office audit, that's an audit due diligence workbook. Tax return document. Is that, nope, just a second. I apologize. Do anybody have any questions or concerns? Well,
I have a quick question, Gary.
Yes, ma'am.
You already know it's me.
Oh Lord, child, you already.
So, let's.
You have to be ashamed of yourself. Now go ahead.
I have a question about like you know how Cash App and all these apps are going to start with issuing the 1099Ks and things of that sort. Because in the past, I've made like a lot of my clients, especially if they're like makeup artists and hairstylists and they get paid through Cash App, like I make them send me their entire Cash App for the year. Um, can can that be? I know that the IRS doesn't really look at like Excel sheets and stuff like that, but can we still keep that on file as some sort of backup?
Yes, yeah, I would. I definitely would. I would keep everything on file. So, and then, like I said, reconstructing, um, you to ask all those questions. You still to ask all those questions, impeding
Right.
questions. Yeah.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, it just dawned upon me. Okay, let's say, somebody coming in, Sheila coming in claiming her 3 kids. So you get a lease as proof of residency, right? So
Right.
she you the lease, and it has all 5 of her children's names on it. Do you know you are to ask why she's not claiming those 2 children? If anybody claiming them, et cetera, et cetera,
Mhm.
because they're gonna put on there you did not ask those questions, and you anything about those other 2 children on that lease. What if a man name on there and the other 2 children, they can ask about that? What if your mom is on that lease too? They can ask about that. You have to ask all of these questions. This is ain't nothing Garrett made up. This is what Garrett seen on them audit papers.
Right.
Yeah, so like I say, y'all, we have a lot of actually work to do. I don't care if you've been in 20 years, 17 years, or what. We all have work to do to say, keep ourselves out the way of these folks. Nobody got time for all that. The 8867, like I say, you've been paying taxes. You know what it is, whether you read it or not. That's a whole different story. Now, you'd be surprised at the people that have never ever read these 8867s. As a part of our knowledge check, those are the questions we just. Some people remember their software. Click, click, boom, click, 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 boom, click, click, click. We out of there. Read, 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 read. Take your time and read. Everybody has it. This is just a mock one. This is not a real one. Down here at the bottom, the permissible documents: school records, landlord, healthcare, medical records, child. If you check it, it better be in that file. Don't try to be, creative or anything. Just it is what it is. Don't take the short for them. If they're disabled, you need some type of information in the file saying that they are disabled. And you to ask that too. So like I say, man, these folks ain't playing. This stuff has to be signed before it is submitted, the transmittal date. Then using stuff like DocuSign and all that to go back and whip it, they can pull those records too. Like I said, all these questions, read it. It's there. Like I say, school records, medical, social letter, daycare records, daycare provider. Now you put not trying to be slick, putting Jane down there. You need unjamed social security number. How often do they go there? I mean, like I said, we auditors now. Like I said, you make $12,000 off 3 kids. How did you support the children off this income? Like I say, that's the income for questionnaire for due diligence. Now for self-employment, how long you own the business. Now you can do yours how you want, but you need to incorporate a lot of these questions. What service do you perform? How much do you charge for the services? Approximately how many clients do you have? What type of items do you need to operate? How often do you replenish? Yeah, you're gonna get some feedback. Do you have business cards, stationaries, order of organizations? Who maintain your business record? Do you have a business bank account? Yeah, they can be like, damn, man, you asking all these questions. Yeah, because I have to do my job. So You have to ask, even if it's a 1099 NEC of miscellaneous, which you shouldn't be receiving miscellaneous, you still have to ask questions. Okay, do you have any experience? No, I don't. How far do you drive to work? What supplies do you use? Oh yeah, I have to buy bike brace and all that. Make sure you put down, Mike said that this, Mike said that. Use that, prepare a pad over there, putting your due diligence notes in and do it heavy. If expenses are high, you need to explain why the expenses are high. And with a startup, like a trucking company that had a lot of repairs, new engine, that makes sense. You over here in lawn care and you have more expenses than you made, that don't make any sense. You over here selling Avon and you have more expenses than income, that don't make sense. If you're a barber and you make more money, well, may have more expenses than income, that don't make any sense. It doesn't fly. Reducing these folks' income, don't do it. Tell if they made 50,000, oh, you made a whole lot of money this year. Okay, you owe $2,000. I got 3 kids. Those are things there. So what you need to do, I'll do some tax planning and just have more taxes taken out, change the W-4. Because if they get audited, we already know what they're gonna say. You mess up, this is a mock one here for the head of household, mortgage, rent, utilities, repairs and maintenance, property insurance. I don't know why they have food, eating at home down there, other household expenses, but you were to ask you questions. Hey, how much is your rent? Hey, do you have any repairs or maintenance in your home? Like I said, I don't see where it makes sense to ask somebody about some food. What other household expenses do you have? Now you're asking these questions, putting these in their notes. Now, if you do get audited or they need to review your files, they see that you was thorough and they may be more lenient and let some stuff fly. Because the first 5 folders determine on the due diligence audits if they proceed or not. If they go to the first 5 are not satisfactory, they go ahead and tell you pull out 25 more, so they have a total of 50 files on that desk. You see part number 4 here. Did I share the screen? Okay, I'm bad about not sharing the screen. As you see right there, part number 4. Part number 5, family support, food stamp, housing assistance, child care assistance. Nothing Garrett made up or you made up. It's in black and white. Like the 4th degree, these folks married, like I have married filing separately, married filing jointly on my tax return. They select that married. Hey, y'all have to married filing separate, married filing jointly. That's just like somebody get married at the end of the year, their last name different from their social security card, you need to put why. They have a hyphenated name, you need to put, hey, why this name is hyphenated now. It's not hyphenated on the tax return, or wasn't hyphenated in 2020, but it's now it's hyphenated in 2021. People just don't go around changing the last name and hyphenating. Make sure y'all read y'all due diligence. Get inside of that EIS, the due diligence and the IRS website. Make sure you look. I don't want to see anybody out here losing. Anybody. Don't matter who she said or what Shirley said. Read. Don't worry about how many tax returns Lisa doing over here on the west side. Let Lisa be Lisa. You don't know what Lisa doing over there. Okay. She said, period. All right. Anybody have any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions?
Hi, Mr. Gary. My name's Bobby. I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So when we're doing like head of household, because I just learned when I started under Raven that if you get like assistance from the government, you can't file head of household. How do we verify that though? Like if they tell me, hey, I don't get housing, but I know they get housing, and they tell me they don't, do I need to ask for a copy of the lease or
yes,
how do we verify that?
Yeah, so you verify head of household. If you look at that form, it's things that you actually ask for. This is your company and not their company. You run, they don't. So I need proof of head of household. Can you provide a mortgage statement? Can you provide a lease? What else can you provide for a head of household? I need that lease. Or you're not gonna.
I think, but she's asking, like, what if they tell you that they don't get housing and they know they get housing and you know they get housing?
Okay. Okay. So if you know something, then you're bound to it. But so what documents is she's gonna provide to prove that she is head household?
Because like, well, I don't know how it is but I know like in some places, like for example, I'm in Houston, and if someone rent an apartment, not necessarily a house, like a private owner, if it's an apartment and they're on housing, that lease doesn't have that person is on housing. It just has what their fair market rent is, or whatever their rent is monthly, and who's listed on the lease. But it's not going to say that that person has a Section 8 voucher.
Okay, so they provide a lease.
Go ahead.
Then they provide it, then they head of household. You know, because like I say, it doesn't have anything that you see that's tying it to government assistance, and they answer no to that. They said no, they provided this lease. You cover yourself.
Right. Can I chime in real quick? Like if you knowingly know, for example, like if they put on the intake form and it says, hey, I don't receive any housing, I pay for all of these expenses on my own, and you know that, like you know their line, by Circular 230, we cannot like knowingly omit something that either we know already or that a client has already told us. So at this point, this is where like the ethics come in. Like, are you gonna do it like just because of what the paper says and what, you know, this lease that they have, and it doesn't show this, but because you know this already, like this is an information that you're already privy to by Circular 230, you know, we are supposed to not omit that. So we were supposed to like, you know, let them know like, hey, ask more questions. You know, depending on how you know that situation, like for example, just being real, maybe if you knowing it from a third party or whatever, or maybe some gossip or whatever, just be, you know, these type of situations do happen. So you might ask more questions. You tell them, okay, hey, well, if it shows that you are head of household or that you have an open Section 8 voucher or something, you know, these systems work together. Sometimes, you know, you can like put the fear of the IRS in them, and you know, that'll kind of like do your dirty work for you in a sense. Like they'll say, well, no, let me just file single. Another thing you can do to kind of like keep down the confusion is show them, look, you file single, the refund amount more than likely is not going to change if you file head of household. So why would you even put an extra risk on your return for that? Now, if they just adamant about doing it, then of course you'll have to just make that decision. Do I want to compromise that, or do I, you know, let this person go? Because if they even let it get that far after all of that, then obviously they don't care about you. You get what I'm saying? So it's just all about the way, like this, one of those ethics or one of those morality questions that we have to ask ourselves.
Yeah, she's actually telling the truth. You can tell she knows what she's talking about. Like she said, that Circular 230, if you know it, then you have to put it. And how you word your client intake form, and top of my client intake form, is are you type of government assistance before we get into documents and things. And please tell me what kind of government assistance you're getting. So that already opened up dialogue. And like you say, you do put fear until they can get, you know, girl, you can get your stamps cut off before you can get your Section 8 messed up.
Can I cut in real quick?
Oh, sorry.
This is Christina, by the way. Real quick, I learned when they changed it over with head of household being triggered to be audited for all my clients, and this is something that I just do and I have my preparers do. I file the return as single. At the end, I go back and see if head of household even gives them something better. If it doesn't, I mean, adds to the return. If it does not, I'll leave it the way it is. I have clients got upset. Why am I single? I got kids. Then I explain to them. I literally show them. I'll send them a video like, look at the difference. And let me tell you that, you know, there is a certain amount of red flags that trigger the IRS system to kick you out for an audit. Head of household is one of them. EIC is one of them. Self-employed is one of them. So if it doesn't benefit you, there is no reason for it to be on the return in the first place. 99% of the time, somebody that's getting Section 8 food stamps, all these assistants, they don't make enough money to qualify for head of household to even benefit them in the first place. That's the stigma with, I have kids, I have to be head of household. That's something us as preparers have to start breaking and educate our clients on, because they're adamant head of household equals kids, and that's not necessarily true.
And you're absolutely telling the truth. It's something that we have to educate our people, because you like to say head of household, head of household, head of household, and you have to show them and let them. And those things are nurturing. This is off of due diligence, Raven. And of course, I know Raven do a great job of this. Communicating through your client throughout the course of the year. They knew. But if your client, then you educate these people through email campaigns, through text messages, through your Facebook activity during the year. Head of household, you can't claim head of household. That's how you nurture a lot of our people, and that's how we minimize a lot of this misinformation out there. You going live on Facebook, maybe live, scared to go live, make a video or something. But we got to educate our people and get it out there, because it's coming back to us in the end. We the one held all accountable and responsible for this. And you'd be surprised how much headache you're gonna save and be able to complete your due diligence and not, click it over here for this person. I don't care if it's $200 or $300. I'm not gonna do it if you don't qualify. It's just not worth it. And like I said,
absolutely. I'm in an audit right now. A due diligence audit, my first one after 17 years. And boy, did I learn a lot of shit I did not know.
This witness.
That head of household, though, that's what's binging everybody. Seriously, that's what my lawyer said, at the head of household, and they about to run a whole nother audit, a due diligence. They about to hit everybody in January. They're doing another run for all these audits. So just make sure, and I'll tell you, the only advice I could give you, honestly, is not your intake. The intake is not the most important thing. It's those notes, your handwritten notes in the file. That's what the IRS wants to see. They want to see the questions you asked after you did the intake and the answers. That's more important than anything else.
Amen.
Yeah, I thought that too, but okay, so I guess my question would be, why not have those questions on intake?
That'd be a book.
So I'll tell you, if anybody has ever seen my intake, they know it is thorough. The problem is, an intake is a computer. It's not like if a client answers yes, I get food stamps, unless you have it like keep asking questions after that, and
Right,
it can
conditional
keep
formatting.
going. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
so mine is set up on conditions where, based on what they ask, it has all these other questions. So
yeah,
will
that's
the IRS not look at our intake at all?
mine's is the same way. No, they definitely look at the intake, but like my lawyer said, like my intake, he was like, it can hurt you more than help you sometimes, because it goes hand in hand. I'm not saying that the intake is bad. What I'm saying is it's more important for the interview after the intake. That's what's more important, because so this is how he explained it. He said, take for instance, the IRS agent doesn't know you and it doesn't know the client, right? When they open this file, they should be able to look and get the whole picture of everything that's going on just by looking at that file, without ever talking to the person, without ever talking to you. They should know exactly what's going on in that household, in their tax situation and all that, just by that file. If they can't, then they can hit you because there's something missing. That's pretty much how he explained it to me.
Hey,
Yep.
Gary, can I chime in for a few seconds, please?
Mhm.
Okay, with the intake form and the due diligence form, what I use, once we fill out those forms, taxpayers sign it and I sign it, right?
Yeah.
Then we go into the due diligence section inside that software and we start answering all of these questions. And then when it asks you about the documents that you retain from the client, I document all the documents, correct?
Yes.
Go down to the last sheet, flip over one page, And there's a section under the EIC checklist that says EIC miscellaneous notes, right?
Mhm.
Write in everything that we spoke about. I put in everything that I retained from the client, and make sure that it matches the previous page, correct?
Yeah, yes.
And when I complete that tax return, all documents that I received from them and documents that we went over together, that's a section that says scan documents, correct? I
Mhm.
scan everything from my scanner into my computer, and I attach all those documents to that particular return. That way, when an auditor goes over that return, he or she can already paint the picture because they have all the documents that's actually what we spoke about and that I received, to where they don't have to come and see you and ask you for required documents for certain and particular files. Because what I've seen in the past is a lot of folks are scanning everything into the computer, but they don't number the client, okay? And they don't give you the client's name. They actually, I need file number 207, okay? Now you're trying to figure out what file is 207. Or they may say, I need file number 29. You're trying to figure out what file is 29. So you always want to have extra documents labeled and numbered in your file section in your computer. That way, when they do knock on your door, when they do ask for that particular file, you can pull it up for them either in paper form or in electronic form. That's my comment.
So now what you said was actually a mouthful, and that's the common practice that a lot of us that's been around actually doing. Now going back to what Christina said, um, you can have the ironclad client intake form. From what I witnessed and seen with the audits the past, like I said, 3 weeks ago, some of the people actually had that, and the IRS, they're not coming to us to be as how mom and dad are doing, how the kids doing. They come in with a reason, and unfortunately, you can have all this stuff in place, but like they said, we still got to ask all of these probing questions. They want to see, like I seen in one file. Now I've never done this day in my life. Rudy worked at Walmart. He earned $17,000. He provided support for all 3 children. He also worked a part-time job at McDonald's. I've never done that. I was like, wow. So they're being nasty. They're being real nasty.
One more thing I would say, and this is my bad. I was it was a great year for me, but it was a horrible organization year for me. I'll tell you that. So it was like, God damn, why it gotta be this year? But anyways, I never knew this, and I'm sure there's at least one of you that didn't either. I have a lot of clients, and some that have been with me for years. And if I ask for a document, they'd be like, "Oh, I don't have it right this second." I'd be like, "All right, just give it back to me." Or if I ever get, or I've said this for a client before. "Oh, if I ever get audited, I'll just ask you and you just get the document for me, right? If I ever need it. If I ever need it, I know you could provide it. I have that in my in my engagement letter. If I ever need something, blah, 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 you can provide it for the IRS or whatever." And that is 100% in friggin' correct. From the day you get that audit letter, you cannot add or take anything away from that file at all. The IRS has been known and will contact your clients while you are in an audit and ask them, "Hey, did such and such preparer reach out to you to ask you for any documents?" Just to find out if you are trying to fix those files. They can't be fixed. So just keep that in mind. We are supposed to get everything up front. You cannot wait for documents. You cannot, that letter that says, that we think that is protecting us, that they say, "Oh, well, I attest to everything I'm giving you or telling you. I can provide it to the IRS." All these engagement letters I see, no, they won't protect you. So
Yeah, like I've actually had a tax attorney out of Florida 4 years ago come into the group, and he said, he has not made one client intake form that's bulletproof. Like I said, it's all with the notes, all with the interviewing. Like I
I
said,
know
I
you're talking about Gregory.
worked at McDonald's with 7,000. I've never done that. I've never done that. So, it's according to that auditor. But four of us can be audited today and we all come out differently, but we all got the same thing in our files and we notate the same way. We converse with each other, had everything together, and the auditor do different. So it's a lot, but just have safe practices. Try to be detailed as possible, or you can be 110% bulletproof. No. If you can minimize this thing, yes, you can. And like she said, it was a great year, but it was a bad, horrible year. Now, trust me, we know these past 2 years we've been getting it. I was up 280 something clients last year. I'm like, damn, but however, I wasn't up there this year, but I did have unorganization 2020. And I said, well, tax year 2020. So 2021, I had to bring in extra staff, extra support, and things in my organization to slow it down. Because I'd rather go ahead and spend an extra $10,000 or $20,000 in payroll than to be sitting here with $100,000 fine. I even went back to I had my people go back through my files 3 weeks ago, and there's still a few things there. There's, like she said, somebody that's been with you for 10 years, you said you had in the file. My people get mad with me. You got to upload this stuff every year. I ain't got to upload this stuff every year. Now, I've also seen the file where it says you don't have to ask because it's already been previously verified. But you need to make sure that you have it, that birth certificate or whatever you validated over the years, and you need to put that in the notes. Now, I'm gonna tell you something else. When I was on my training this weekend, what was told by the tax attorney, she said, do not put nothing on that 8867. She said, you put please see notes. Put everything in your preparing notes section, because like Christina said, all this stuff on either way, they can hold it against us. They know their little loopholes, but that's what she told us, advised us. Everybody can, do as you please, but she said, please see notes. And then in the notes, that's where you asterisk everything out about, everything that's detailed over there, because they don't have a copy of that. They just have please see notes. Now their job is made a little harder. And so they come with these 25 files. If you can find out who they get before there, you have time to correct it. But you want to get it right the first time. You're not going to go back and correct those files. You're not going to do that due diligence. You can be out May, June, July. You can be all out the country somewhere doing this and doing that. In September, October, you can be back in your office, whatever. If you do, getting ready for the next tax season, and them notes going to be dangling and raggedy. We're playing with too much at this moment to be empathetic with our clients. We are playing with too much of our freedom now just to try to run numbers. Do your due diligence. It is what it is. Assess things. Like I said, you all are not on this training just for y'all health, or y'all bored and ain't got nothing else to do. Y'all over here for a reason. Like I said, once again, I do appreciate Reagan bringing me in to actually, drop my knowledge on y'all, tell you what I know, what I've learned, debunk a few myths. Is everything I said somebody can find a hole in it? Yes, you can. Yes, you can, but just be careful. Don't be the one that's trying to sit there and fight. Some people like to put up that fight, that brick wall there. If that's you, that's you. But like she said, Christina, I know it's a gutsy feeling. Can't sleep at night, toss and turn, stomach messed up, riding down the road, forget where you're going. You're in la la land. Like I said, the young lady this morning, man, she said the only thing she could think about, she said, Garrett, I can't go to jail. I can't go to jail. So that's
I
just
have a question.
I'm actually not too concerned. I know I'm gonna get a fine. It is what it is. I think I'm more relieved because I kind of finally know now what, at least like you said, every auditor is different. My lawyer said the same thing. He's like, thank God we didn't get such and such and such person. I was like, well, thank God we didn't. Shit. He said, but I'm more relieved of finding out exactly, not exactly, but what they really are looking for, what they're not looking for. That's what my main concern is. Because for some reason in our industry, it's always been like, it's been a secret. Nobody wants to really tell you what happens in an audit, what was said, what was done. And when you ask these 20 and 30-year preparers, like, what's going on, they say, well, if you don't know, you shouldn't be doing taxes, stuff like that, instead of, just helping and telling us. I've been doing taxes for 17, 18 years now, and I've never had anybody say, well, this is exactly what you should have, or this is what you shouldn't have, or, well, I know, no, it's because nobody really knows, but, just to pass a due diligence. That's what most of us are looking for. We just want to make sure we could pass a due diligence audit, because that's where they're coming. They're coming for us. They, instead of us working with the IRS and them looking at us like we are, their first line of defense, they are completely against us. I was on the phone one time. Let me tell you, I'm going to stop. I was on the phone one time with one of my clients and a tax advocate. Do you know this B turned around and told my client, now they didn't know I was on the phone. I see that your refund, your refund is going to a bank product. So, if you really don't want to pay your preparer, I could just send you a check. What? What? That's crazy.
You got to think about it. These folks making $20,000, $30,000 a year, man, working all the hours. Some of them making $50,000 and $60,000, been working for 10 years. We making this in a week. So yeah, they can be pissed off. They against us. That's just the truth and basis of things. Ain't no hating going on, but reality is, and yeah, they are at us. And the attorney that I use, Josie Walton, she got a class going on. It's real cheap. I think it's less than $50, man. She's doing a series, which is unbelievable. But she just came from a conference. She said the number one target of the IRS is tax preparers. We the one punching these numbers. We the one getting these refunds. I'm not saying anybody on here doing it. You know what I'm saying? But we know what's going on in our industry out there. People inflating numbers, writing off stuff. People with the projects making $2,000. They're not even working, getting $10,000 to $12,000 refund. We see this. We know this. It ain't nothing secretive. And like I said, I do appreciate Raven, because this is opening up dialogue, something that's actually needed. It's something that's actually needed in our community.
So I have a question. Could I ask my question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So going back to the head of household and how we're supposed to be asking probing questions, especially if like our clients getting government assistance. But if you have like a client who's getting government assistance, but they're not paying like more than half, right? Because you have to provide support of 50%, right? You have to. So what if they're getting rent assistance, but they're paying the majority of the rent assistance. They don't get food stamps, like the only government assistance. Would that individual be able to qualify for or be eligible for the head of household?
Okay, so now what we do? Okay, so she got qualified dependent. Okay, so now who are her qualified dependent or dependents? Are they her children? If they are children, they receive.
So let's just say, yep.
But now, are they receiving any type of assistance?
Just the, state medical insurance.
Okay. So what if are they receiving SSI? They receive
no.
support?
Nope. She works a job. She works a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
The only assistance she get is rent assistance, but she's paying like 90%. They're only paying a small portion of her rent.
Yes, she would qualify.
Okay.
But like I say, now you paint a clear picture. Now, but make sure that you put in there that you ask, was she receiving any assistance for Mike a little Ray?
Okay, so you'll be probing questions for like any additional earned income, child support, anything else.
Yeah, so it's your job to just qualify them for that credit. So if you can't qualify them for that credit, they deserve that credit.
Thank you guys so much for this. I appreciate it.
We have a long tax season though. Yeah, so
One thing I want to say is, because I have not been through a tax audit, but I've been through insurance audits for health and for property and casualty. And the IRS is the same. There's no one size fits all. If you get an audit as anxious, as scary, no matter what word fits the description for you, as much as it is what it is, take that lesson, make sure you take your notes in the midst of it and learn from it. The other thing is you have to keep in mind that them people are not your friend. So, yes, you want to still be pleasant and you want to be as professional as you can be, but you want to, in the back of your mind, remember as much as they're smiling and I'm smiling back, they are not my friend. This is business, and I want to try to sway them into my direction as much as I can by being polite and being professional. But at the end of the day, I know they're here to do business. The other thing is discernment. It works. I literally got us out of a multi-million-dollar audit for health insurance. And how that happened was we were just building rapport, right? Finding out she was having a horrible day. And just a stupid joke that I made turned her day around. Now, did we still get a fine? Absolutely. But it wasn't as bad as it would have been had we not built that rapport. So all I'm saying is, as bad as it is, just remember if it comes, as long as you're doing what you know to be the truth in each and everything, and you're doing your best with the research and the knowledge that you're getting on these calls and wherever else you're getting your education, just stay firm in that and build on what you already know. Don't, don't let what's to come be a stressor for you, but make sure that you take it all as a learning experience and build on it. And in your business, you're being ethical. And I think you'll be fine. Yes, you might be out some money, but you'll still be able to keep your name and your freedom.
that's true. That is so true.
That was some good information. I hate to stop y'all right here, but we got another speaker. That was some good information. We'll probably, more than likely, we'll probably do a part 2 to this because I do know it's a couple more questions, and I will see if anybody else has anything else to chime on, especially somebody that may have went through an audit before. For those of you that don't know, I have went through an audit before. I went through an audit in 2017. I am not, one of the ones that don't care, don't like to tell nobody that, because it wasn't anything that I did to prevent it. One of the things that the auditor told me was, and this is another thing, especially for the new people, you have to be very careful who you work under, because sometimes people are already under investigation because of their unethical practices or their fraudulent practices, and it can rub off on you just being tied to that office. So you have to make sure that you don't want to work up under nobody that's telling you push in numbers or telling you the wrong way to do things. Even though it's new people, of course, sometimes we don't know this to be wrong, but the minute you know better, it's best to move around. So I did have somebody that was God sent an angel to me for real, because I literally was supposed to have a way bigger fine than I did. And honestly, I probably could have gotten even more being reprimanded more because of that, because a lot of that stuff that I had on there, y'all, I'm telling you, I was taught the exact wrong way to do taxes. For example, one of the things that I was putting on there, of course, was the not education. Well, yeah, that was one, the education credit. Them people didn't have no 1098-T. They was just telling me that they went to school, they did this or they did that. And we would just use supplies, because I would ask them, like, you a student, you went to school, and of course I went to school, I paid this or whatever. They didn't have a 1098-T because that's how I was taught, and I ended up getting fined $11,000, and it was honestly supposed to be more than that. I know it was, but she stopped at the returns that she pulled the first few, and then she stopped after those. So I was like, okay, I'm so glad, because after, if they feel like they can feel like it's something more or it's something like fraudulent or something, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. She really just knew that I didn't know. I was breaking down, crying in there, and my grandmama paid my fine because I didn't have it. That was that year. For those of you that was on here yesterday, I told y'all that was my year when I jumped out into that office for the very first time. I was still under a commission split, jumping in the office, trying to get employees working up under me. So that year was the year that I jumped out there too fast and ended up getting knocked back all the way back, for real. So if it wasn't for my grandmama, I probably wouldn't be doing taxes to this day because she paid for my fine. I wasn't able to pay that fine. I was in the negatives that year, for real. It took me like 2 tax seasons to even make that money back. So yeah, that was, you do not want to go through a fine. Even like I said, sometimes it might not be something that triggers it. You could, if some of them are very random, that does happen, but all of the times they're not, you know. So just be very careful, do your due diligence so that you can be able to protect yourself if they come to you, if it is a situation. And during COVID, I have helped like a couple of people through audits, and during COVID, the things are kind of different now. But because things have started back open up, they are indeed coming back to offices and all of that. During COVID, they would ask you to mail in the documents, but now that the world is open back up, they will come right back to your house. And Gary just said that they will come to your house, they will come to your office, and they don't have to schedule it. Sometimes you'll get a letter in the mail, but if it's something that is dire and they feel like something is going on, they ain't gonna tell you nothing. And even with the IRS, the banks would do it too. If the banks feel like you're doing something fraudulent or something wrong, they will come do a knock and talk. You be coming to your house, you got your rollers in your head, your bonnet, and it's somebody from Refundo, it's somebody from Refund Advantage asking to see your files. And when we agree and when we do our compliance test and when we signed up and sign our ERO agreements, we are agreeing to that. Y'all got to read that stuff and see exactly what you're agreeing to, because if the banks feel like it's something fraudulent going on, or if they're noticing patterns, then they can very well pull up, and they can also report you to the IRS. So make sure you're doing the correct thing. I just want to say, thank you, Gary, for coming on and teaching us, because yes, I learned a lot today too as well. So I appreciate you so much. And hopefully we can, finish this at another time because it was some good dialogue going on. And I'm just grateful for you. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you guys learned a lot as well. And if y'all got any other questions, you can drop them in the chat and we can finish it on the thread. But thank you, Gary. Thank you so much. I'm gonna post the recording will be on YouTube for the ones that did not watch the beginning of it. Now we also have another speaker coming up. Shakara is about to go over workflows with JotForm. This is been highly anticipated because a lot of people are trying to get into like making their process smoother, making their process easier, trying to going from paper files and all of that to a virtual standpoint. So I'm about to go ahead and turn it over to her so that she can do what she does best, and that is JotForm. So I'm about to let her come on. I'm gonna close my mouth and we about to get started. You able to share your screen, Shakara?
Let me see. Yep, I got it on here. Bam. Anyways, hey everybody, I am Shakara. Some of you guys know me, ambassador for Missouri's of the Association of Black Tax Professionals, and I am what my friends like to call me, the JotForm SME. Oh, I got my associate in here right now. She like, no, you're the one, you or her. But anywho, so I started my practice about 4 years ago. And when I started, I was broke. I know a lot of people go through things and, starting a business and you got this idea in your head that you want your business to be massive and you want to have all these systems and all these other things going on to make your life easier. But again, let me say, I was broke. I could not afford like a tax dome, and I could not afford like one of the bigger CRMs. But at the time, JotForm was kind of just now launching. And I found it on a whim and I was like, I like this. I don't really understand it, but I'm gonna try it. And at that time, I didn't have a lot of clients. I only had like 30 clients or whatever, because I was just stepping out on my own. So I had time to dive into JotForm. So that was 4 years ago. Now I can do anything on JotForm. I got people who own bakeries. Like, can you set me up my business thing with JotForm? So JotForm is not only limited to tax preparation. You can create anything you want to in JotForm. You just kind of got to know where things go. So that's where, so now, anyways, moving back to JotForm now, I actually have about 1,300 clients. I was using Taxes to Go and JotForm, but I was trying to switch them all over to just JotForm. And they all run through seamlessly. I don't have any problems with JotForm. I mean, every now and then they do some kind of updates and making me mad or piss me off. I'm like, oh, here we go. I can't even do what I want to do. But they're very responsive. If you hit the support thing and put a ticket in, I have done numerous. They will get back to you. It may not be like right now, but maybe within the hour, they'll get back to you. So if you're looking for something that's responsive with people that actually care, and then it might be a week before they get back to you, but they'll email you and say, hey, we figured this out. And then they make it known for everybody. If you click that you want your stuff to be open, for anybody to see it, then everybody that has that same problem can type it in and they can see what it is. So let's get into JotForm. And yes, JotForm definitely changes a lot of people's perspective, because when they think JotForm and they see it, they like, I don't want to use this. But in reality, it's way more than what you see on my screen right here. So anyway, with JotForm, when you first start JotForm, you don't have to pay to get it at the immediately, but they do give you 5 forms. The first 5 forms, you have 100 monthly submissions. So if you are a new tax preparer who is really getting on their grind and trying to, get clients or whatever, then this is really good for you. Because like I tell all of my P10 people that come in, I always assist them with their JotForms. I tell them like, hey, you only got like 5 clients. Like, this will work for you right now. If you get more than 100 submissions in a month, then you can afford to pay for the JotForm. It's not that expensive. So again, 5 free forms at first. You get up to 100 submissions. 100 monthly form views. So if somebody's just looking at your form, it's not taken away from your submissions. And then you can even incorporate payments and stuff in JotForm if you wanted to. But you only get 1 user. If you want to have more than 1 user, like a whole team of people working on it, you may want to look into like their enterprise, but that is big money. And we ain't talking about big money today. But I could actually build you something that everybody could use. But I could. But it'll take time, but I could definitely do it. But anyways, this is a JotForm. This is the startup. I'm going to start off with just showing you my JotForm. This is what my JotForm ends up looking like. So this is what the link I send to all of my tax clients. I give this to my tax clients. These are my colors. Don't judge me. I love these colors. I went to a school called Riverview Gardens High School, and those are our school colors. So I stuck with it in my business, and I'm like, I could turn this into financial services. But anyways, so this is my form. On my form, I basically just put out my name. Like, this is who they're looking at. This is who it is. The flyer that I'm using for the season, this is that one. This is the one I sent out in my EDDMs and stuff. And then I just tell them like, hey, please make sure you send all your documents with you the first time. And then they have the option to select a button, start their return now. They can even book an appointment with me, or they can call me with questions. Both of these forms, these 2 are forms, and these forms are built in JotForm. This one would just direct them to call me. Like, they will call my office. So I guess if I click it, it'll say, how do you want to call them or whatever. We're not going to do that now. But these will take you to my forms. Then I just put general information. Tax returns are processed in the order as they come in. Communication will be via text or email to discuss your return with you. So that's what I do. I put in my promotions, need extra cash, talked about my promotions, cash advances. This year I'm giving away a free car. So I made a flyer, and then I'm giving AirPods away to like my business owners, like 2 of them a week. So I did that so they know what they're getting into. Like, hey, okay, this is what she got going on. Then it establishes, girl, I'm not giving you no car. It establishes like your position in the industry, like what can you do? And then it gives your clients a sense of knowing that you just not know a fly by night company, you are a real company and this is what you got. And just keep on going down. At the bottom, I have my other services because, you know, during tax time, that's when everybody wants to start a business. Everybody wants to, I hear about it. I want to start a trucking company. I want to get into Airbnbs. I want to do this. I want to do that. So I just made it on here like other services that I offer. They will click on these links and they'll look at them to see what is it. I mean, you know, if you put it there, they're going to look to see what it is. So that's what I put down here. And then for like people that want to join the tax industry, because they're looking at my stuff, they see how crisp, how clean mine is, and they see like what I have going on. Then I just, you know, put it out here. You know, you want to join the industry, you want to come on and join my tax family. I will definitely take care of you, you know. But that's the perception I want to give to the people, because they see that I do all these things. I'm not a scammer. I'm not a this, you know, and brand marketing and just making yourself just like the leader in the industry, the go-to person, the person that does everything. That's what it is. That's what I do. And then they have like these little things where you can just, you know, they swirl around or whatever you want to put on there to give people the thought, whatever you want to do. You can upload a PDF. Like this PDF will take you to a checklist for your clients. Like this is a checklist that they can just look at and see, like, you know, what they might need. It makes sense to me. Oh, I think I just went back too far. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Okay, and then I also highlighted on here some of my classes that I did. You want to picture credit? Yes, all of those things. But anyways, I highlighted like my customer appreciation day, NATP conference, tax repair stuff, MTPA conference. Like, let these people know what I do. I don't just do taxes, and I want them to see that I'm educated. I have a team. I have this. This is the JotForm app. This is the end result of everything. So that's my JotForm app. And now we're going to go back over to how you actually set up a JotForm. So I'm going to go in here. So JotForm, once you get started in JotForm, you have a thing that says create a form. This is where we're at right here. I've already created forms. This is actually my demo account. This is the one that I do my presentations on for the most part. But JotForm is amazing. I'm going to go in and I'm going to show you. We talked a lot about due diligence and, you know, what questions you want to add on here, what questions you don't want to have on here. Can you incorporate these same form? You wouldn't want to incorporate this form. Oh, the form to it. If you have the form, like, or something written, yeah, you can go in there and build it in Cognito. I don't think you can. I'm not a Cognito expert. I really never use Cognito because JotForm is so amazing to me. So but I'm sure you can. But anyways, this is a JotForm intake. This is my JotForm intake. I built it out with conditional logic. So the clients can put whatever they need to put in there. Some things will show and some things won't. So if you say, what is the filing status? And that even we talked about due diligence and you know, how things work, and you know, you are the one to actually determine what your person's filing status is. It even says it on here. I put it on there for myself. It says the filing status will be ultimately determined by the information given to the tax preparers, given and the tax preparer's discretion. Basically saying, yes, you can tell me you had a household, but by the time I get done with this interview or looking over your stuff, I can determine what you are. Are you really had a household, or are you single? Are you claiming you're single, but you're really married? Because that interview will tell you everything. I promise you I get at least 1 or 2 people every year that start off this whole interview like, yeah, I'm single, whatever. And then I'm talking to them about their year, because you're supposed to interview them so you can kind of get a feel for your client. And they start saying, yeah, girl, because me and my husband went. And I'll be like, whoa, wait a minute. You and your husband, you just told me you were single. So what are you, husband? Are you single? You married? So you know what I'm saying? That just kind of goes into those notes that you'll take. But again, conditional logic is all set up in here. So if they say they are single, then like the spouse part right here would disappear. And I'll show you exactly what that looks like in 1 second. The next part that I want to talk about in your client intake form is the autoresponder emails. So once a client fills out my form, I have created an email that will actually go out to them. Well, I did have one, but I guess it just didn't save. But you can change this to whatever you want it to look like. If I wanted to change it and put my logo on there so my people can, you know, just brand it to myself. Love that one. I'm in that little bitty box. Yeah, so I can brand it to myself. Everything that you put in job form, it'll always stay in job form as far as images. So you don't have to upload your stuff every single time when you do it. It'll just go there. It'll just stay. After you do that, you can change the name of what you call, like what this one is. You can change your email subject. Most of mine are, catered to whatever. Instead of it saying we have received your response for the advanced client intake, I could probably just change it and say, hey, we received your intake. Next is the recipient. You have the option to change the sender's name to whatever your business name is, where the email goes to, and actually what email you're sending to. So the response, if they have to reply to, it'll come back to you, and your email, it will send it to that person, whatever their email. And this email address comes off the form. So on the form, it asks, hey, what is your email address, which is right here. So that is where they're going to send all the responses or all the auto responders to. In the back of here, I talk about conditional logic. Yes, I went in and I conditionally logic all this whole app so that it will not show all of the stuff. One thing that you don't want to do, and I mean, a lot of people in here are, tax preparers or whatever, and they've been preparers for a couple of years. But what I do know is that you don't want to overwhelm your client or make them feel like they're doing their own tax return. Like me personally, I heard all the things about due diligence, and I'm a very strong advocate. I did conditioning, but I'm a very strong advocate in intake form, yes, but I need to interview because I know the importance of notes. I've never been audited myself, but I do know people that have been audited, and I've always tried to, move around so I don't get audited. So that's when I get the basic information, to guide me into my interview with the client. But the information that's on the job form is enough for you to get the tax return started and almost finished, but you just, you need to know what you need to ask. After that, you get a thank you page, and you can customize this into whatever you want it to say. This one says your tax preparation submission has been received. Please allow 2 to 24 hours. And I really think that when you do use intake forms, make sure you put a time limit on when you will respond to that person, because you don't want them to think I just submitted it, even though it's 2 o'clock in the morning, somebody's going to do it right now. I'm not. I don't know how many people are going to be up at 2 o'clock in the morning doing taxes. You could say 1 in the chat. I mean, I may be up working at 2 o'clock in the morning, but I am not taking a new submission. It's probably something that I'm carrying over from the day after. We all know how that goes during the season. But anyways, once you get done, you got to publish, and then this is the form. You could take this link right here and you can copy it, and you can just give this actual link to your clients. When job form sends the email that someone filled out, your intake form, can the email be sent with the hyperlinks to the documents? Yes, it will. It won't be, it will. It does, usually. But this link right here, if you was to give it out, it'll just go straight to your form. So this is what you give that link out, and this is what the person will see. And they have it in different versions, you can look at it on the phone, you can look at it however you want to see it. So you want to see how it would look. This is how it looks regularly. This is what it would look like on the phone. This is what it would look like on a tablet. So that is the intake form. When job form sends you the email, without hyperlinks of the documents. Yes, or without the form. Usually it sends you a thing. It'll say that there is something there. It'll just be a hyperlink, and you click on it and it'll open up to show you what that was. If I'm understanding. If you do more than 100 EIC clients or 50 self-employed clients, you are on the radar for due diligence audit. Okay, I'm sorry, that wasn't for me. But anywho, so that is the client intake form. So I'm gonna go back out of the client intake form. My computer's like frozen or something. I think my computer is frozen. Oh, there we go. All right, cool. So inside the job form, I also use job form for my calendar. Like that is a really, really big thing. Having a calendar. Somebody must have a client. Yeah, that's all it takes to get it. But this is the, you can set up a calendar in your job form. So if you are using like all these other different apps where you're paying for a calendar, so that people can schedule with you and all this thing, and just you get job form, then you can definitely use their calendar. On their calendar is pretty cool because you put in the information that you want to have on here. Under this appointments tab right here, you can actually go in and you can decide how you want, what's your duration. My durations are usually about 45 minutes because I never know what I'm getting. If somebody actually books an appointment with me, then 9 times out of 10, they have more than a simple 1040. So I actually have to take time on that. And then once you have somebody, if you have them sitting in front of you, that interview is going to go a lot longer than someone who just sends you their documents. So that's that. When you get inside, you can do intervals, and that means every day from 9 to 5, weekdays, this is what that'll do. Add an interval. If I want to say I want to work on Saturdays and I only want to work until from 9 to 12, I'll just go in and I'll change it. I'm only working on Saturdays from 9 to 12. So now my calendar knows when to book me. If you want to incorporate a lunch break, some of us, we will just continue to work. We won't stop. You can just say that the lunch break is whatever time you want it to be, or you can just take it out and then it'll schedule you for all your time. You can customize this to what do you need? Like what services do you need? I need a tax preparation, tax filing, tax refund estimate. And then you can even go even further and you can say, hey, who is your preparer? If you have a team of people that is using job form at the same time, you can list who's your preparer. One of my favorite parts of job form and the calendars is you can do a start and end date. So you can say like, this is just my tax season calendar. I want my start date to be January 2nd, because that's when we're starting to do taxes. And I want it to end on April the 21st, because we never get to leave on the last day of tax season. So now people can only book in between the 2 dates that I put on here. Rolling days, vacation days. If you know you're taking a vacation in March, it will block, or February, it'll block off the days so nobody can book on those days. And if you have multiple vacations, you can put all the times that you need to be off. And this will kind of just stop people from booking you up when you know you're not going to be there. Minimum scheduler. So this right here says how many hours do you need of notice? So do you need 1 hour of notice? Do you need 5 hours of notice? You kind of control your schedule and just say, hey, I need 2 hours of notice before somebody says they want me to. Oh, there's a way to, hyperlinks being in there in email list. Is there a way to receive the alerts without email? I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. The emails can be whatever you want them to be, just like Raven said, that is your email. You are the one that actually does the autoresponder. This is this is notification that will come to your email. So this notification, you can edit what you want to be sent over. It does not have to be all of that. Or you could completely turn it off. I could just delete it out of here and then I don't get an email. So either way, this is how job forms works. That's why it's called an autoresponder, because it will auto-respond if you want it to auto-respond. If you don't want it to auto-respond, you just go to advanced and you would just turn them off. So now this email can only be sent if you send it manually. Discard those changes. Conditions. You can put conditions in here on your form. Like let's say you have a thing saying like, is this going to be an in-person appointment? Or if this is going to be a Zoom appointment. So if you say it's going to be an in-person appointment, the next page that you may want to show will say, hey, the address to the office is this, the address to the office is that. If you want a Zoom appointment, you could put in there a link saying, hey, this is the link to get onto the Zoom at the time that you schedule your appointment. But they even have something even cooler, which is the Zoom integration, where you can actually integrate your Zoom, which I'm not going to do that because I think my assistant is using my personal Zoom for a class right now, and I probably gonna mess them up. But you can integrate your Zoom so that those appointments only are Zoom. So if you're just a virtual tax preparer, all of your appointments will be Zoom. So you don't have to keep on changing it up. So it really just depends on what you want. But when you get your email, you'll know exactly what they do. And once you're done, just like on the other one, you can publish it, you can copy the link, you can give it to them. And then down here, you can, well, they'll create you a QR code if you want that. If that's what you want to like put that on your flyer for people, hey, schedule an appointment with me, and there's your QR code. JotForm gives you a QR code for every single form that you do. Another thing is people didn't even know that there are how to get a QR code without using something like JotForm. You can always just right click on your screen on whatever web page you're on, and it will create you a QR code for whatever page you're on, just so y'all know that. But anyway, so that is that. So after you get both of these forms set up, you will go up here and you just go to apps. And then from that part, that is where you will see, that's where you will find your app. You will create your app. So there are templates in here for you to use an app, but for the case of you creating your personal one, I would just say start from scratch. This is one that I built out just for me to show off how it works. You can add things like your Facebook page. You can add client testimonials on here. There's so many different elements that you can use on here that they give you, PDFs, Instagram, if you want to put your Instagram thing on here. All of these things are available to you. You just kind of got to know what you want to put on there. Again, this is the give us a call, schedule your appointment, start your return now. And once you do it, when you go in and say like start your return, this is what the one I'm on, you create that tab and then you just name it up here and then you just get the form. Which form do you want to use? And you just put it right there. It's really not that, it's not that hard. It may be hard if you're not used to it, but it's not that hard. But this isn't even like the grand finale of like all of it. I want to show you how that information works for you. How does the information that the people actually send you work for you? JotForm has took it a whole nother step further than just collecting data for you and giving you a pretty app so that you can appease your customers and let them know like I got taste and I know how to design some stuff. There's something called JotForm tables. And under your form, you will find JotForm tables. You would just click on the part where it says submission. I had to do one so I'll be able to show you guys how it actually works. But on this is all the customer's information. Everything that they sent you, it all comes this way. This will be you'll have to come in on your form. You can change it so that a person has to be logged in to be able to see this stuff if they want to again. But all the questions that were asked, they're all on this form. What I do in my tax process, this is how I started. I started my tax process as just check marks. So I had a team of people working with me and I always wanted to make sure that everybody was on the same page and I could kind of see what was going on. So these things are just check marks. So when a person created the folder for this person, they'll check it off. If they enter the data in, they'll check it off, scan documents or whatever. These things, the boxes, they are checkoffs. So it just kind of made me a little bit more organized. Again, this is what I did when I didn't know what JotForm was capable of. Once I started doing a little bit more digging into JotForm and trying to figure out, because I'm like, man, I want to send emails to my clients after I get done. I linked that with Raven. Raven had was like, hey, use these emails. This will work out for you. Again, great source. Raven is that one. But she gave me these emails and I'm like, dang, okay, I'm going to try to integrate this into JotForm and see how it works for me. So where I'm going this one. So I created an advanced JotForm intake so that you can actually come in. This is my client's name right here. Usually I would have the submission time on the left side. Well, mine looks a mess. That's why I didn't show y'all mine. This was something I just threw together. But right here, it says like, you can pick what preparer, who's using it. So like which preparer is using it. Okay, it was preparer one that's doing this actual tax return. So then after that person claims it, they'll just send this email that says intake received. So once they send that email, it gives me a date stamp, time stamp on how, what time was it sent. I don't have my email up, but I can actually show you guys what the email will look like. I think, no, that's the wrong email. My bad. I think it's under this one. No, it ain't on neither one of them. So, okay, well, that ain't gonna work. But I can show you how it looks on the other side. But it sends these emails out. So if I come in, I claim it. Like this is Prepare One is doing this tax return. The intake is received. So we just sent that email to the person. We let them know, hey, we're getting on your tax return right now. We're going to be in constant contact with you throughout the whole process. And then data input, did they put the input in? I mean, put the data in, send the customer portal link, upload the job form. These are tasks. And then when we want to send that customer portal invitation, or we send the customer portal invitation from our software, we use TaxSlayer. So now we'll say on this one, like, hey, we just sent you a link. Please sign up for your customer portal so you can fill out your paperwork. So that's that. Next one is we need more information. Like you didn't give us enough. Please know that we're going to give you a call. Whatever you decide to put in there, you can put whatever you want in there. But the point is job form is able to email out to these people. So that is the biggest thing. And again, it took me a long time. Like, I mean, I could probably teach you guys how to do it, but it would take forever because it's not a simple thing. And it's like a lot of back and forth, you know, they haven't streamlined their process. But the next one I want to talk about is the referral process. So like a lot of people get referrals, and even on the form that I created, mine says who referred you. Like who referred you? And this is actually the fill-in of who referred the person. Now, some people don't pay until they get funded. So like if the person does get funded, you can like check this. And then like maybe you have like Thursdays when you're giving out all your referrals. So you got to contact them or whatever. Here, hey, like they're done. So that's, but you can do this with all kinds of stuff. You can even do it for vacation incentives. So I'm gonna create one just to show you, like, because I give out vacation incentives. I go to connect the form. It's gonna connect to my client intake. That's next. So then I want to put out here I want to put out here the name of the person. It looks all retarded now because I added all these things in here. But that's why I say, like, when I do it from the beginning, it looks good. It looks great. But once you start going in and adding things, it just starts looking crazy. So this one is a U.S. vacation incentive. So this is vacation destination. So this is the client. This is the vacation destination. I usually don't give those out until they get funded. So with this one, I'm just going to hit a checkbox and I'm going to say, are they funded? So we know they're funded. And then because it says that it's funded, the person that actually does all my vacation incentives, she can go in and send out that vacation incentive to the person. Most of the time I put on here, I take the information, their name, their phone number, their email, all three of those. So then the person that's actually sending them out can just do it all and send it out to them. They have all the information that they need on this process. So, but all of that stuff gets built out. All of it is done through job form. And of course, this whole app came from really just me using these two forms to build out what I wanted to build out. And this is actually the free version. So, you know, if you want to get started to see how it works out for you, I would not advise you to change in the middle of the season. It'd be really, really crazy. But the best part about job form for me is, especially when I'm doing marketing, is that I can get this form, get this same form with all the submissions, which mine looks crazy right now, but I can actually download the whole entire thing. So one, if I want to upload it into the back of my software, I can download as a PDF. It'll come as a PDF. For me to put into the back of my software. Or if I want to download all of it as Excel, this is the PDF. So this is what they gave me. So this is what I put in the back of the thing. So the IRS is like, hey, where's your stuff at? What's the intake? I didn't put all the W-2s and stuff on there because this is just for like show, but all the W-2s would pop up in there. This was where the driver's license was. So this is what I put in for driver's license. So you see it actually comes up as the picture. So if I use this to put in my software,
I need to ask them.
So I use this to put into the back end of my software. And that goes with the notes that I actually take during my interview process. And if you wanted to get all of this information on a spreadsheet, because, you know, a lot of our software for contacting my clients or whatever, constant contact, all those things. They want the spreadsheets with the name and the whatever on it so that you can upload it. So then you got all your people. It comes on one. It'll come on one, and you can just take out what you don't need on the form, or you can create another form just with the stuff that you will need, and it works out that way. So these are a few, like this is another one that I did. Every time somebody clicks on your stuff, every time someone clicks on it, it's going to say, do you want to add as a home screen? I have this on my home screen of my iPhone. So if somebody needed to do it, my people never delete it. They always keep it, and it takes them directly to my page. And this is one, and it was really simple. They, simple, just straight to the point. She can work it. Again, it's another one, really simple, straight to the point. Another one, very simple, straight to the point. But all season long, people have been like, oh my God, I want a job for it. Can you do it for me? I'm like, okay, give me a second. I got you. But I do help people. I don't know, with it being so close and I still ain't did my AFSP yet. I'm like really apprehensive about taking on a lot more clients, but I mean, I could definitely help. But I'm going to go back to the questions because I didn't really read it because I really wanted to explain what JotForm was. Do I have a class for JotForm setup? I really don't have one for a JotForm setup. I mean, feel free to like follow me while I'm doing one. I don't have a problem with that, but it's gonna be, I don't know, you ain't gonna be able to keep up because like a lot of the stuff, like I just kind of know where the stuff is. Somebody said, I need this. Do you create those for other owners? I do. Y'all got me thinking, LOL, this is dangerous. I need this. I wish I could. So actually, I did talk to JotForm. Well, JotForm wrote on my wall when I had to like, y'all didn't use the JotForm, you need to do this. And they had wrote on my wall and it was like, this is great information. Thanks for sharing or whatever. And then I spoke to some dude on Twitter about like whatever. But all they really offering is like affiliate things, but they already have that because I do so many JotForms and it didn't make sense for me not to have an affiliate thing and get paid for the people that actually use JotForm after I set it up for them. I mean, they're paying me to do it, so I would hope that they invest in themselves, but if they don't, whatever. Can you auto send the second form and like an engagement? You can. You definitely can. So JotForm has this really cool thing in their inside when you go to edit, where you can change the direction of your emails. Like, what do you want to be sent next? So like I use JotForm for onboarding all of my tax pros. I use JotForm for like all of my truck drivers when they're turning in their sheets to get paid. I use JotForm for my Toro stuff. I use JotForm for everything in my life. I use it for. But when I'm onboarding my my P10 users or whoever it is, they buy my package, they click on the link, they do the application, and then after the application, it takes them straight to the contract. And after the contract, it takes them to the software enrollment form, and all of them just go, it just keeps them going, like until they can't go no more, until I put them in the software or whatever, and then we send them an email after that. So yeah, you definitely can. But one way to do that is you can change your thank you page. Instead of saying thank you page, you can redirect them to the next link. So you'll take your JotForm link for whatever the next thing you want them to do. You can send it out that way. Or with the emails, you can create a autoresponder. And that's where I did mine at. The ones that are actually on that form where it says intake, receive, and all that stuff, you have to create them when you're building it out. You're not placing them until you get into the submissions part of it where the tables are, but you have to build them out here. But you can build them out, and inside every single one of them, you can say, send this one, send it out here, or you could tell them like select PDF things that you want to send out to them. I mean, JotForm is definitely, you just got to be in tune with JotForm in order to build out what you want to. But as of right now, when people enroll into my service bureau, with my service bureau, like I have very minimal contact with them until they get done with everything I need them to get done with. And then they get a call from me. So they're doing the application, the eFin software enrollment. They are answering all their questions. Do they got this? Do they got that? All of that. It's all done. And then I talk to them and make sure they understand their contract and everything that they signed. And then at that point, my team is putting their software together, sending out emails with their logins and all that stuff. So you still use Taxes to Go and JotForm. So I did use Taxes to Go, but I stopped. The reason why is because one, I have like 223 PTN users. And with 223 PTN users, everybody wants to use taxes to go, well, they don't necessarily want to use it, but they see it and then they get curious and they want to start pushing buttons. Well, last year we had one girl who kept on just clicking every client that came through taxes to go. And so people were calling me like, hey, there's a problem. Somebody took my person. I can't find them. I know they put that in there. And I was like, you know what? We just gonna cut all that out. I'm not even gonna play with nobody. So my clients, I'm on a separate ether than anybody. So my clients, if they want to, I don't care. Some of them, they just so old school with their little phones. They don't want to upload nothing else or do nothing else. So whatever, that's on them. But every tax preparer that comes in, like with my service bureau, I put them on job form. Like, here, put this together. We got a job form class on Friday. We're gonna go put job forms together. Can you send, that's me, I'm interested. She did mine. I did do yours. YouTube, you can definitely learn on YouTube if you don't. They haven't tried partnering with you. They're missing out. They whatever. I don't know. I mean, I can't compare it to them being on Middle Eastern people that know all of that tech stuff. Like they know how to make stuff work. I made my prepared contract. Sometimes can I put the contract in job form? Absolutely. So mine, I do have my contract on job form. They do have job form signature. You can put it in there. Love that. I'm thinking of using Basic Suite for with job form. Yeah, I got me. It's kind of, yeah. Well, I mean, you're gonna be intermediate with job form until you actually practice with job form. It takes some time. It really does take some time. Like I said, my stuff looks crazy. I have all kinds of stuff in here. I got like 40 forms in mine. It's just a lot. And every year I have to change, like I change my intake form every year so that I don't have to deal with it. But like, this is my job form. Like, yes, the red means that I haven't even attended to what it needs to be attended to just yet. But my contract, here's a contract. And I'll show you like, this is a contract. It's a partner contract. It just goes over everything. They put their name in, all their information, they read over it. If they don't read over it and then they mess up, and I'll be like, didn't you read your contract? So then we have all of this in here, signatures, computer and security requirements, making sure that their stuff's up to date, paying compensation agreement, like this is what the split is. And then just like the non-compete agreement, all of that stuff is right in job form. And I never had a problem with it, and it automatically goes over. So one form will go to the next form, and it makes sense. And each one depends on what they select, then it'll go to something different. And shoot, I don't know. Job form is dope for me. Like I've never had a problem with job form. And they got this thing called Create Teams. Do not get it confused. Teams they want you to buy the enterprise thing. They just change the name on it. I am not buying enterprise. It's like $2,400. Even though I do make a lot of money using job forms, and it's not worth it to me right now. Unless like if my team was or whatever. But the second job form that I showed you guys, I have another job form just for my partners. So like all my partners, they usually get their own job form app from us. Like, because you gotta like give your partner something. Like, what's the point of them being with your service bureau? Like, so we like, this is one of the incentives is you get your own job form. And like, if they leave, then I just delete their stuff. But whatever, it is what it is. But do you have any other questions? Because I ain't gonna hold y'all up. I can go all day about job form for real, but I'm not going to. I am not going to today. It's not gonna happen. So, anywho, any questions? No.
I have a question. When I first signed up with my job form, I used like my personal email. I know when I just was going like following along with you and I was going through the edit and the settings.
I can't hear you. I hear you, but I can't.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I was saying when I was going along with you, I know when I signed up with my job form, I was using like my personal email. So I went to the edits to the settings, and it has like where you can like change your email or add the email. When I'm changing that email, like if I change it, for instance, to my business email, would the submissions go to that email that's on there?
Yeah, actually it will. So I think when you go into here, I go into edit form and then settings, emails. So the notification, this is the one that like or you just go into here or whatever. But recipients, you can actually put in like, so during tax season, the 4 people that work with me, and this is the workaround inside of Job Form, is the 4 people that actually work with me. They all have Sure Business Essentials email, so I know that they ain't going nowhere. They only staying with them. I can put their email address in here. Probably should do it right now. So I'll put it in here now so they know. But they can they will get the response form as well. So they will get the form that has all the information on there. But again, like my job form is tied to my IP address. The only 2 IP addresses that it can use, like for my intake form, is the ones that are actually in my office right now, and they have it like you can do that. So like it's restricted to IP addresses, and I mean it's so many levels of security within it. I remember one person got on my post and was like, "Yeah, well, job form isn't HIPAA compliant." I was like, "That ain't got nothing to do with taxes. Like, why are we even talking about this?" But since we are talking about it, no, job form has like all kinds of security, and they even say it in their first part is like, yeah, HIPAA compliance is available if needed. But I mean, we don't really work in the medical industry, so what do we need? So how can we sign up for you to create? Okay. You can, I can give you my link. And you can, but again, there's different levels to like mine. There is different levels of mine. There's like a basic one where, you know, you have to provide all of your stuff to it, like your pictures and your artwork or whatever. If I'm bored or if I'm not doing much, I might offer or edit all of the artwork that's in my thing. I've created it on Canva. Everyone that I do, I created on Canva. People just give me what they want and like, or tell me what they're doing. And I have some things that are set up. So, I mean, if you are paying for the basic one, you can't expect like exclusiveness for me to like go in here and just like, oh, I want all of this. Like, no, I have like basic ones that I just will like tailor to your color or your brand. And I ask for your logo, and that's how I do it. So, and it's a pretty simple form. It's just job form intake, ask you like what your work hours are. And then after we get done, we go over your form and I kind of give you like the insight on your form. But the biggest thing about job form that a lot of people do not know is that job form actually does have a payment thing. So you can integrate your Stripe, is that what it's called? Stripe to that, and you can get paid. So people actually, like at one point I was doing like this special promotion for like get with my team, whatever. And they could actually purchase it right here on job form. They could, the class was $750. They can actually use the drop down. Like I have drop downs on, they could pick what class they wanted to be a part of on here. And it was, I mean, you can customize it to anything you want to. So like I said, job form is not just like, I'm not just advocating for taxes. Depending on what your business is, it may work for you. It may not work for you. I just didn't think that me, I didn't think that me buying like tax, like I don't do a lot. Like I just do tax preparation. I'm not into like representing people and all this other stuff. Most of my clients are 1040 individuals, Schedule C individuals. I don't have many business clients. I really don't want business clients. I am content doing what I'm doing. If I can do 1,300 schedule, 1040s and Schedule C's, then I'm good with it. So I don't really need all of those things that other people are offering. I do also use Constant Contact because that's just the way that I put my stuff out. But the website, my webpage, my internet webpage website, they do all my emails to like my clients and stuff for me. Like, I don't have to do any of that. They do it for me. Like, oh, tax season coming up. It's pretty generic, but it gets the job done. It lets people know. It keeps me engaged with them. So, but as far as any other questions with job form, I can answer those.
I have a question.
Okay.
Somewhere you had like in one of your things, it said, I think it was an email that said access your portal. So is that portal the app or is that something outside of that?
That's outside of it. So I use TaxSlayer. TaxSlayer has their own client portal that they provide. And the reason why I use that is because I need the signature on the tax return. I don't I run a paperless office. So I use the client portal, even if that client was like, well, if they're sitting in front of me, I got a signature pad for them. But for the most part, I mean, I run a paperless office. I'm not giving you a copy of anything. I'm just going to send it to you with that encrypted email from my software, because that's what I pay for. I don't do all of that. But as far as just getting their information and just them telling me, hey, this is real. And then I'm even thinking about that because somebody said like that does not hold up in court. But I mean, I guess it's all in your interview process. But I guess with them, me asking them, is everything you're giving me correct? It kind of puts the sense or fear in them, like I need to get her the right stuff. But
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Any other questions? Because I ain't trying to keep y'all all day.
I do have a question, and it doesn't pertain to job form.
Okay.
But I just wanted to know, how did you grow your tax business to having 1,300 clients within 4 years? Like, what did you do?
So aggressive marketing. I'm definitely I get on the, well, first of all, I talk the way that I type, and I interact with people the way that I am right now. Actually, I'm a little bit more turned up when I'm interacting with people, but I just put myself into like the faces of the people that I wanted to see. I am a part of different organizations. I am the girl that drives around in the very fast Charger. I'm the girl that rides the motorcycles. I'm the girl that likes money, and people attract people that want money. And especially like I'm from North St. Louis, so I'm the one that made it. So everybody kind of just wants to deal with the person that actually made it up out of the situation.
Gotcha.
EDDMs are really, really good. Last year I did some, but really it's just on interaction. I tell people all the time, I tell my team all the time, you can put on Facebook, Instagram, everything you want to put on there about come see me. But until you actually interact with that person or talk to that person, you're just like the next tax preparer. Unless you physically like talk to them. And I do lunch and learns. I have one tomorrow with a company called Justine Peterson. Like they picked me out of all the tax preparers in St. Louis. I represent their company. Justine Peterson gives out, they help people start up small businesses, and which are Schedule C clients, which is what I do. And they help individual people, you know, with just life. And they ran like $9 million in funding through their company last year. I went to them and was like, hey, you know, I was their client. At first, like I was their client years ago, 2015. They sent me something about, you know, hey, we having a Christmas party. You want to be a vendor? I went to go be a vendor. That was it. I just went to go be a vendor, like just to tell people about my tax business. I paid to be there, but I was not selling anything. I was just giving out my flyers to these people. And the director of Justine Peterson was at the Christmas party. And he was like, hey, I researched you when I found out you were coming. I see what you're doing. Can you be the person that we call to? Can your office handle what I got going on, what we have going on? And I was like, yeah. In my head, I'm like, hell nah. I'm tired already. Like I'm stressed out already with work. But I take on the thing, and like I took on that project. Now I know I have to go get people that can assist me. It's really about just knowing who, yeah, is EDM good to, yes, it is good to use. Especially like me, I just moved to a new location in St. Louis. So I just sent out, I spent $1,000 on EDDMs. I hit up like, I don't even know how many houses. I can't remember the number. I think it's like 4,000 flyers or something. Not 4, no, it's like 3,000 flyers or something. But I just sent it out to people. Brand awareness. I just want you to know that I'm here. I'm right across the street from H&R Block. I can't wait. I can't wait till they notice what I am right here. And I made sure that that EDDM went to their door. So like, they're gonna know that I'm here. I get out with the people, I give away things that people need. I don't care about flashy stuff. I want people to relate to me. I got a lot of friends that be into all that, like, you know, the whatever, it's like the red bottoms and the purses or whatever. My clients don't want the person with the red bottoms. They want the person that just made it about the hood and can sustain for their family. So therefore, me showing how much money I got to them does not matter. But me showing that I'm taking care of my family, I got a healthy relationship, I got this, that is my persona. That's what I put out there. I don't, yes, I got money, but I don't tell them I got money. I don't have to tell them I got money. They can see by the trips that I take with my family, the things that I do with my family, where I go with my family, how my family is always with me and we always doing stuff together. They know how much the things I'm doing cost, but they see that we're doing it together. So that's why my people mess with me, is because I'm me. I don't change up for nobody. A couple of people out here, they know me. Ain't no point in bragging. Actions always speak louder than words. So when you putting yourself out there as the GOAT or as the whatever, think about like who do you want to determine you as the GOAT? Do you want the, but it goes to with your clientele as well. It goes to with your clientele as well. But and that goes into your business as well as a tax preparer. Like you got 1,300 tax clients, baby. I got 220 something preparers, and they all mess with me because I'm me. I'm very transparent. I don't keep them in the shop. Sometimes P10 people need to know stuff, EREs need to know something, whatever. But I'm very transparent with them. You can make money. Yes, I'm going to get my cut because I'm reviewing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But at the same time, hey, this ain't where you always going to be at. I want you to level up. It's hard. I don't like eating at the table myself. I want you to get your eat fan. I want you to eat too. I want to help you to grow your business, not only just preparers, but I want you to get your own team. Like I built my clientele off of that. And a lot of my people that are preparers are clients. They were clients at one time and now they're preparers because again, I'm the girl from the north side that made it. They want to know how I made it. And I give them a seat at the table. For years, I never charged for a tax class. Never charged. Shit, I didn't even charge half the people this year for a tax class. Like just leaving all kind of money on the table, but I don't have to because, the real recognize the real and all of that. And everything that costs a lot don't really, it ain't, the grass ain't always green on the other side. But that's pretty much how I got my 1,300 clients. Just keeping it 100, putting myself out there, going to these things, I drop off cards everywhere I go. I be in Qdoba getting my food. You know how you get your food and you got to go over there get your drink and they got it on their table. Girl, I just pull cards out and just slide them out there and just put them on the thing and just leave. After I get my soda, I walk out. Go to McDonald's. I'm sitting over there getting my soda. I put my cards over there, drop some on the table. Like, that's what I do. I market everywhere I go. My car, I don't have it on my page, I don't think, but my car says taxes on there. Get your money. Here's my number. Call me. So all of those things, it's like a combination. One thing don't work for everybody. Depends on where you live at, all of that, whatever. But, I like my little hood celebrity status and people trust me. And that's the biggest thing. If they trust you, they'll come to you. That's me and the grocery store.
Oh, sure.
Go
Just
ahead.
real quick. Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, I'm not saying nothing. I'm just listening.
Oh, I was just about to say, like, how do you pass out or give away the headphones?
Oh, so for those, okay, so what I'm doing is, inside your software, you can run a report on like what was done that week. And you can actually break that report all the way down to like what forms were used and stuff like that. So I would just look at everybody that actually did a Schedule C that week. And then I do a random drawing, and I do the drawings on Saturdays. And I do like a Facebook one, and that like opens up the engagement for people to see like, oh, this girl doing another drawing. Like, what's she giving away this time? But yeah, so I'm giving out 2 pairs of AirPods on Saturdays throughout the tax season, all the way up until April. And anytime you do anything, I don't know if people are new in here, but anytime you're doing like any type of promotion, anything, put a start date and end date on there because you don't want people to try to hold you to that. I had to learn the hard way with a referral fees. This girl came to me in June, like, didn't you my people came to you ain't get my referral fee. I was like, baby, they got that shit done at the end of April. Like, but I did not specify that it was only until April, whatever the date. So I had to just give her money so she could shut up talking to me. But yeah, that's what I do.
So no, what I meant, like, is it, how like, I think either you or Raven mentioned the marketing company for the travel. Are you just paying for those AirPods out of your pocket, or are you using like some type of marketing gig?
Ain't nobody giving out no damn AirPods.
Oh, look,
for real.
Know,
that was out of my pocket.
Last year was giving out tablets or something. So that's
well, yeah. So let me tell you about the tablets. Like, there's certain companies out here that would give people tablets free if they qualify. Like, and they have to get some type of special assistance or whatever. So that's like one angle on the tablet thing. Like me personally, I have a box of tablets over here. I got about 100 of them. I'm giving away to all my clients. But that's something I purchased. But once you make money and you get into the industry and you keep going, you already know what you need to do for your marketing budget, especially if you're trying to expand and do more. You want to put more to the side. Next year, you might want a billboard. You should do your research, see how much billboards are, so you know how much money you need to put up for that. And then you look at other people and what they're doing, and you just put the money up. it's hard to save when you're a tax professional because you get all this money in 4 months, but you got to think about the future when you're in taxes. You got to like think about it. What are some good wholesale funds? I don't know. Oh yeah, they are $27 for a pair from China. They're earpods, not AirPods. Mine are actually AirPods though. I was gonna do the earpod ones, but I'll use some earpods, but I actually got these ones from Target. They were on sale Black Friday. Because I can't have nobody saying this girl gave me some earpods. Oh man. I'm not gonna be that person to get dragged over social media about my earpods. I mean, even though I didn't have to give it to them, but still, I just whatever. But another thing is like if you get on social media and you start like really talking about what you're doing, and just ask your people to share it, like share my status, share my this, share my that. That's really my thing. During tax season, people tag me a million times, so many times that I can't even respond. So many times that I got another phone just for my assistant to act like she's me to respond back to these people because I don't be seeing it. But I don't want to make it seem like I'm a mean girl, like I'm only dealing with who I want to deal with. Like, no, I want all the clients. I want all of them. If they work for me, not the fraud ones, not the ones that oh yeah, that's true. But Raven said never do a giveaway without an incentive for you. So yeah, those people will be like, hey, I got my free AirPods from Sure Business Essentials. Go see her, she'll get you together. Like, yeah, they have to do that when they get something from me. But other than that,
Do you guys have any more questions for Shakara? We running over a little bit. I got another class at 7. Well, it was supposed to start at 7, but do you guys have any more questions for Shakara about job form?
no,
Oh, thank you so much.
no problem. I be in the text bestie thing, talking stuff, liking stuff, being petty. So just, hit me up, say hi sometimes.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate you for coming. Thank you so much for doing this because I really, really wanted to see how job form, work. Cause I know we be on the phone all the time, but you like, girl, it's doing something else. Job form got another this, job form got another that. So
it's like breaking news.
Yes,
it's like breaking news,
right?
job form.
We be calling each other like, girl, guess what? They got this, they got that now. So I love job form. I have been a Cognito form user for the longest, but I'm trying to like convert over to use this one more so over Cognito.
Girl, just call me. I'll put your little packet together.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'll
So
throw it together.
thank you so much
No
for
problem.
attending. I don't know if Garrett is still on here, but if he is, I want to say thank you again to him as well. And thank you all as well for coming. My voice going out, y'all. But thank y'all so much for attending today. We will meet again on tomorrow. And I'll post in a group on what the topics are gonna be about because I do gotta do a couple backtracking. But after tomorrow, we should be on the right track with the rest of the days. Now, tomorrow as well, I'm going to post a link inside of the group for the service bureau so that I can give you guys the link after I verify it. I can give y'all the link to the Zoom meeting so that we can do our 2 to 3 hours just to kind of, go over everything, keep you guys updated. Share some things with y'all and we'll be doing that. And after that, everybody, hopefully you guys have a better understanding or a better feel for tax season. Hopefully y'all if you came into this challenge with any doubts or feeling kind of anxious, anxiety, all of this stuff, hopefully it has eased up just a little bit. So can I get some feedback real quick on the challenge? How y'all feeling about it? How y'all feeling towards tax season? For those of you with your workbooks, make sure you guys are working through that so that you can get the most out of it so that we when the season, after we get done and before the season starts, you can kind of go back and assess, use those pages at the end to see how you feel now, and then keep up with that book so that you can plan out your goals for the season. And then once the season is over, you can go back and look at it and say, man, I did it, you know, and so you can see the areas that you need to work on, the areas that, you know, that you excelled in, so that you can hit those areas and really turn it up for the absolute next season. Because I'm pretty sure everybody in here, y'all thinking long term. You know, you always have to think long term. Even though every season stands alone, of course, but you do want to think long term, so that every year you can get better and better. You can get more clients, and for the things that may not, you know, have been working, you can, you know, use that to grow and find another strategy, do some more training, do some more continuing education, so that you can be better. Oh, what? I don't know why my voice going out. Always be a student. Always be a student. No matter where, you know, how many years you've been in the industry, always be teachable. That's one of the best things that advice that I can give you. Make sure you always are coachable. You always teachable. Always, you know, in the position to learn more, because this industry, things always change. Nothing will stay the same. Every year, these laws change. We get new administration every 4 to 8 years. So of course, anytime it's going to be a new president, anytime it's new Congress, laws will get changed, laws will get you know, amended, laws will be extended. So another thing too, I saw on Facebook today, and I think it was Garrett that posted it, but remind your clients about those SBA loans, because a lot of them probably not have made one payment. And of course, I don't know if you guys know or not, but with the SBA loans, if they default on those loans, that could potentially, you know, give them, they won't get a refund, they won't get a tax refund, they can start getting garnished. So of course, for a lot of us that use bank products, our, you know, money is really in their hands. So if it gets garnished, then we won't be able to get our fees. You know, of course we can ask for it, but chances are most of the people, especially if you have the clientele that I have, they're not paying. Even if it gets garnished, they not paying. So definitely check on that. Make sure you guys are for your own office as well. Keep up with that and make sure that you're educating your clients. That's one of the biggest things that you can do in order to get clients, is to be that source of information, the source of accurate information. Because it's one thing to be on there, you know, spread sharing stuff that may not be true, some myths, things that may have been like speculatory. Or another thing I see that goes on a lot, sometimes, you know, following certain news sources, they sometimes that stuff be clickbait. I'm gonna just be honest with you. And the headline may say, child tax credit payments are going out next month. That's the headline you'll see. But when you click on it, number one, it might be an outdated article. Number two, it may be something that's misleading. They may be sending out child tax credit payments, but it may be for people that haven't gotten them. So you have to like read everything before you share it to your community, before you share it to your client base and your audience, because you want to be the one that is giving out the most accurate source of information. Just like, you know, when I know that we be sharing a lot of information from other tax professionals. Do your research before you share it to your community, you know, kind of fact check it. If it's something that's like breaking news, or if you see, you know, somebody saying, hey, this is new, fact check it before you share it, because this is your community that you are bringing, and this is your reputation and your face that you're you know, putting on this. And you want to be the one that is putting out the accurate information, the stuff that is actual, that you can go on the IRS and look and see. Because chances are, if it's dealing with taxes, it's gonna be on the irs.gov. If it's not on there, then chances are it may not be real, to be honest. So just do your due diligence on and off the social media, on and off the tax return. Do your due diligence with your business, period, when you're doing the tax returns and when you are sharing things and when you are, you know, taking tips from people as well. Just do your due diligence. All right. So I'm about to let you guys go for today. For everybody that's gonna be on the other one, I'll meet y'all in about 10 minutes. All right. So I'll see you guys on tomorrow.